Okay, so this first problem is asking us to write something in the point-slope form of an equation of a line described. And the line described has the point of, we know it goes through 5, 5, and it's parallel to y equals 1/5 x plus 3. Well, if y equals 1/5 x plus 3, if that's in the same format as y equals mx plus b, then 3 is b, but what we care about is m, where m is, the m multiplying by x is 1/5. So the slope of the parallel line is 1/5. And of course, a line that is parallel to a line with 1/5 has a slope of 1/5. Parallel lines have the same slope. So we're looking for a line that goes through 5, 5 and has the slope of 1/5. So if we use our point slope form of y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Oh, sorry, I should put m, make m blue, excuse me. So slope of m times x minus x1. So we know what that equation is. It's going to be y minus, and up here our y is 5, and that equals m, which in this case is 1/5. And that's going to be x minus, and in this case it's going to be the x coordinate is 5. So this is in point slope form. Y minus 5 equals 1/5 x minus 5. We'll do it so it's not in colors, just y minus 5 equals 1/5 x minus 5. Problem number 2 is asking us to find a point that goes through -3, -5, so -3, -5, and it's perpendicular to y equals -3/10 x minus 2. Once again, if this is in the format of y equals mx plus b, then the slope m of this line is going to be -3/10. However, the first line was parallel, so we know they had the same slope. The second line is perpendicular, so it's perpendicular to -3/10. So the slope of the line we're looking for is the opposite reciprocal. So if I take -3/10 and I change the sign, so negative becomes positive, and I take the reciprocal, so I flip the numerator and the denominator, that becomes positive 10/3. So our slope of this line is going to be 10/3. So our equation of y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 All right, so now we have all the information to put this in. So this is y minus -5, and that's going to equal, my m is 10/3, x minus -3. Okay, we're almost in our point slope form, except we can clean this up a little bit. Y minus -5 minus a negative, this becomes a positive. Y plus 5 equals 10/3. X minus -3 becomes x plus 3. So our final answer is going to be y plus 5 equals 10/3 x plus 3. Alright, so problems number 3 and 4 are asking us to write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line described. So I want to write it in the format of y equals mx plus b. And we're going to have to use, however, our format of the point-slope form because we have a point. In this case, we know it goes through -1, 5. And we have a slope. The slope comes from a line that's parallel to y equals 2/5 x plus 5, which is in the form of y equals mx plus b, where m is the thing that's multiplied by x, so that would be 2/5. So, using our point-slope form, we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So we can plug in the values we have. We have y minus 1, and that's going to, excuse me, let's do that the other way around to get better colors. Y minus 1, and that's going to equal, my m is 2/5. And I've got x minus -5. Okay, so if it was asking us for the equation in point-slope form, we'd already be done. But again, it's asking for it in slope-intercept form here. So we need to isolate our y. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this minus minus. So I'm just going to say y minus 1 equals 2/5 x plus 5. Now I can distribute my 2/5, so y minus 1 equals 2/5 x, and 2/5 times 5, the 5s would cancel, that would just be plus 2. Now I want to isolate my y, so instead of y minus 1, I'm going to add 1 to this side, and of course if I add 1 to this side, I have to add 1 to both sides. So the 1's cancel, and I'm left with y equals 2/5 x plus 3. And this is in our slope-intercept form. Right here, by having this, we know that our slope is 2/5 and our y-intercept is 3. All right, problem number 4 is asking us to find the line that goes through the point -4, 4 and is perpendicular to the line x equals 0. Well, the line x equals 0 just looks like this. It's got, if this is my graph, right here this point is 0, 0, this point is 0, 1, this point is 0, 2, this point is 0, 3, this point is 0, -1. It's actually the y-axis right here. That is the line x equals 0. It is a vertical line. So we're actually looking for a horizontal line, one that goes like this, or this, or this, or this, something like that. And we know it goes through the point -4, 4. So that would be -4 is out here, and 4 is up here. So this is the point, -4, 4. And we're looking for the line that's perpendicular to the vertical line, so that would be a horizontal line like this. And that line has this point here, which is -4, 4. It's got this point here, which is 0, 4. It's got the point here, which is 4, 4. In fact, x can be anything, but y is always equal to 4. So our equation is just y equals, I'll do it in black, our equation is just y equals 4. Are asking us to write our equations in standard form, which of course is ax plus by equals c. And we have information. We know that it goes through point 5, -4. And for number 5, it is parallel to the equation y equals negative 5x plus 2. And of course, that's in the format y equals mx plus b, where m is what multiplies times x. So in this case, that's negative 9/5. So we can use our point slope format, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 to come up with a line, and then once we come up with a line, then we can go back and put it in standard form. So what do we have? We have y minus the y coordinate is negative 4, y minus negative 4, and that's going to equal, my slope is negative 9/5, and that's x minus, and my x coordinate is going to be 5. Okay, so now I have to put this into standard form. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this minus minus and distribute the fraction here, or distribute my slope. So y minus negative 4 is just y plus 4. And the reason why I'm distributing my slope rather than just multiply the whole thing by 5 is because when I do that, my 5 is going to get rid of here, so that's going to be equal to negative 9/5 x minus a minus becomes plus, and the 5's cancel, so plus 9. So here I have this fraction here. I can't have a fraction. Well, first let's put these terms together. So if I subtract 4 from both sides, I end up with y equals negative 9/5 x plus 5, which is in slope-intercept form, but I want it in standard form, so I'm going to take this entire equation and multiply by 5. And by doing that, 5 times y is 5y. 5 times negative 9/5 x, the 5's cancel, this 5 and this 5 cancels, so I'm left with equals negative 9x, and then 5 plus 5 times 5 is 25. If I add 9x to both sides, I get 5y plus 9x, these cancels, equals 25. And that is in standard form. For problem number 6, it's very similar in that we want to do it in standard form, and we're going through the point 1, 0, and our slope of a line that's perpendicular, not parallel, perpendicular is, if I write y equals mx plus b, the m is right here, so the m here is negative 4. So because it's perpendicular, I want to take the inverse, I want to take the opposite inverse, or excuse me, the opposite reciprocal, the opposite reciprocal. And so if the slope was negative 4 over 1, that's the same thing as negative 4. To make the opposite reciprocal, I change signs, the negative becomes a positive, and I flip the denominator and the numerator, and so that becomes positive 1/4. So now we want a equation that goes through point 1, 0 and has a slope of 1/4. So using our point slope equation of y minus y1, and that's going to equal my slope of m times x minus x1 . So I can plug that in. I have y minus, in this case it's just 0, and that's going to equal, and that's going to be m is 1/4 times x, and x minus, in this case, 1. Okay, so I can just, y minus 0 is just the same thing as y. y equals 1/4 x minus 1. If I take this entire equation and multiply by 4, then 4 times y is 4y, and 4 times 1/4, the 4 and the 1/4 cancels, so that's just going to be equal to x minus 1. So that's 4y equals x minus 1. If I subtract x from both sides, I end up with 4y minus x equals -1, and that is in standard form.